special meeting was called by the Madison City Council to discuss and possible pass ordinance number 184, 2022. Roll call.
Kramer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Howard Smith.
Here.
Hurricane.
Here.
Lewis.
Here.
Lombardi.
Here.
Slutes.
Here.
Sneed.
Here.
And Viola.
Here.
Roll call 9-7.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We also have in attendance with us the following city officials.
Mayor Kathy Catazero-Perry.
Good evening.
Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester.
Present.
Law Director Justin Richard. Assistant Law Director Edmund Mapp.
Here.
Economic Development Director David Maley. Chief Building Inspector Frank Silla.
Present.
Is there anyone else from administration on this? Oh. Community Development Director Samantha Walters.
Here.
Is there anyone else that I might have missed? That's it, Madam President.
Thank you, and welcome to all that are present. Remarks of delegation, citizens to matters on the agenda. We are asking for anyone to come forward with any comments on ordinance number 184, 2022. If you wish to do so, please state your name, address, and please limit your comments to 1 minute or less.
Could you just tell us what that ordinance is? We don't have any agendas.
Ordinance number 184, 2022, which is an ordinance making a certain appropriation from an unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency, and it is the funds to tear down Howard Tower Way.
Again, please state your name, address, and limit your comments when you're finished.
Certainly, thank you very much. My name is Richard Altman, A-L-T-M-A-N, from the A. Altman Company, 2555 34th Street, Northeast Canton, Ohio. I was sitting here for the earlier meeting. We are a developer. We have developed in the city of Massillon. We redeveloped the building at Lincoln Way East in Wales, where Ackwood Children's is located. We've recently been the purchaser of the 3 homes on Lincoln Way, just east of our property. And with respect to Howard Tire Rags property, we've entered into an agreement with Mr. Rubin to purchase that property. And the end game would be to develop that property into a nice new building that would benefit the city with the income tax and things like that. We're asking the city here to act as the conduit for the property so the funding can come from the Rubens to the city to the state to tear it down. And then vice versa, the state back to the city as the conduit back to the Rubens so that the city is never out $1. And the funds that are coming from the state were extremely hard to get. A lot of the legislative action came from people outside of the city of Massillon with the help of Mr. Maley and the mayor. There were many applicants. We were number 2 of 3 properties in Stark County. Property number 3 did not receive enough funds to do their entire tear down, but their building is down already. I think at the end of the day, if there is a lien placed on the property is going to sit there and there's going to be no benefit to the city. I think if we use the city as a conduit, get these buildings down with my input in developing the property, I do believe that you will have something there quickly rather than a vacant property. Also, many, many years ago, my company also redeveloped downtown Massillon with the Lincoln City Center. We were a part of that as well. So I do believe that we can improve the city, be a big help for the city, and I would urge every one of you to please let the city be the conduit so that we can develop this property appropriately for the city and working together. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Richard. Anyone else want to speak? Seeing none, we'll move into ordinance number 184, 2022.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the year ending December 31st, 2022, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to call forward the mayor of the city.
Thank you. And Mayor.
Madam President, members of council,
Just want to give you an opportunity to continue.
thank you. I just want you to know that the city is not going to financially benefit from this demolition. So if we don't use all the funds, we can send them back, or we can ask to use them on another property. So it's not going to be like the city gains financially. So if anybody has said that, that is a misrepresentation of anything that we've ever said. Yes.
Councilwoman Howard Smith.
You just said that we could use the funds on another property?
We may be
Okay,
able
because
to.
we were told repeatedly that this grant is for this property and for this property only.
Then that's correct.
Okay. And like whatever we don't use will go back anyhow. We didn't have the choice of saying, hey, we want to take this grant and we'll give some to this demolition, some to this, that it was for this one only.
I misspoke, I apologize.
Okay.
I was down with COVID, and so that must have been washed out, so I
Okay.
apologize.
I just wanted to clarify. Thanks.
Anyone else have any questions for the mayor?
So just finally, the city is not going to benefit financially at all.
Councilman Kramer.
I just need a little bit more background. So how many buildings do the Rubens own in the downtown area? The current location where Tiger Rags is, do they own that
I
building?
really don't have that answer for you. That would have to be Mr. Manley. I don't know how many they own in downtown.
They own here, but I believe they own the two buildings we're discussing, and there's a lot next to it that where you see the Jack Post are, that's a separate parcel, they own that too, and I believe they own the property that Lindy's sits on.
In the current location of Tiger Rags, they own that property also?
They own, there's two buildings, two parcels, and the one vacant.
No, the one, I believe where they're currently located, they are renting.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tiger Rex, where it's currently at, yeah, that's the lease, I'm sorry, they're leasing it.
Renting. Okay.
Yeah, leasing.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, Councilman Lewis.
Yes, I feel we can move forward. I'm going to make a motion that we move ordinance number 2022, or 184-2022 forward for a vote.
Roll call.
We need a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman Gregg. Thank you. Roll call.
Gregg?
Yes.
Howard Smith?
Yes.
Hearn King?
No.
Lewis?
Yes.
Lombardi?
No.
Sluse?
No.
Sneed?
No.
Viola?
No.
That would be 3 yes, and,
You're missing,
oh, I'm sorry, Jill?
Yes.
Freeman?
yes.
That would be 4 yes and 5 no. Ordinance number 184-2022 has been defeated.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 184, 2022 has been defeated. Yes, David.
I just would like to know where we go at this point from council. Because we are on a time frame on this.
Are you raising your hand? Councilman Viola.
Thank you, Madam President. I just had a question, and I don't know if this is appropriate for Mr. Altman regarding his comments. I was kind of confused when he stated that the property would just sit there forever. So my question would be, are you,
I can start to answer that for you because that's what he's asking.
oh, okay.
Essentially, what we just did is we said, no, the city cannot have the money to tear it down. So right now, no one has the funding to tear it down. The building will remain standing unless the property owners decide to tear it down. The next steps, as you were asking, would be that the property continue to stay standing as it is until it becomes another situation like we had last week. And once it's back wall to line, you can come back to us, I suppose, ask for emergency funding, and lose the grant and tear it down anyways.
Well, we are in
That's
a time,
essentially what just happened.
we are in a time frame, that's
That's what I mean. Because we did not vote for the appropriation, we do not have the funding to tear it down. So you cannot tear it down because we did not grant the funding to do so. So unless the property owner does it of his own, then it remains standing.
But I guess my question more so was, Mr. Altman stated that he's going to purchase this property from Mr. Rubin. And then he stated it would sit there. So my question is, if we assessed it for, say, like $40,000, is he saying he would not then purchase the property?
Well, I think in my opinion, one, his agreement is to purchase the property after the post tear down. And two, any business deals that he has with the Rubens are outside of the purview of this council because that is a private contract between two private businesses. As it stands now, we have denied the funding to go forward with the tear down of the property and the city cannot proceed. And if that jeopardizes the grant, so be it.
So if we don't come to a decision and propose something else, how soon till we lose the grant on what's altogether?
The paperwork has to be turned in by the 1st of May, so that means we have to have the building down and everything before the 1st of May. And we are proceeding tomorrow with the remediation of the property, tomorrow morning.
Wednesday.
I'm sorry, Wednesday, 1st, I'm sorry.
How are you paying for that?
We were just going to pay for it to keep things moving along.
So I'm
It's
gonna-
not a big expense, but it is what it is. I mean, I guess we can discuss how to cash. We got plenty,
If it's within your budget,
yeah, plenty of $5,000.
Okay, I just would like to address all of you. This is not the answer to have a 5-4 vote. This is not the answer. We have a safety issue. I know you received an email from the Safety and Service Director saying this is a safety issue. And so if you're going to have a 5-4 vote, one of you that voted no needs to come up with a recommendation, or, as Mr. Violin suggested, meet them halfway, because leaving tonight is not the answer with a 5-4 vote.
Councilman Lewis? Councilman Hurricane?
Thank you, Madam President. As we talked for several weeks, my answer would be put a lien on the property, and that probably would have gone different.
Anyone else? Councilman Lombardi?
I agree with Mr. Hernkeen. I think several of us have made ourselves clear that we wanted to lien on the property. This would have passed, would have
Okay, but having a standstill is not helping our city. So we need a compromise, I guess, is what I'm asking you.
Councilman Hurricane?
Thank you, Madam President. We do not have a standstill. We talked about this. Your office has chosen not to put a lien on the property. We were forced to make a choice. We made a choice. If Dave Bailey or somebody would have said, yes, we're going to assess the property or put a lien on it like we would in any other demolition case, I would have voted for it.
Mr. Hurricane, you know that there are different projects that come from the state that you can use the funds to help your businesses. This is to help a business, a long-standing business. Now, I don't see any reason why we couldn't come to a happy medium then if we're going to dig in tonight, because that building needs to come down and assess half of the taxes then. But I can tell you that we do not want empty lots in our city that are going to be sitting there for years and years to come. Now, this council has the authority and the right to bring up and you know this, you can have added something to your legislation as well. Now, one of you brought something forward. This is a safety issue. We need to find a happy medium. So who would like to come up with a happy medium?
Mayor, I feel you're bullying the council. I think they were voted. Councilman Lombardi?
Thank you, President Eisnick. Mayor Kathy, I have come up with, I have made 2 suggestions on this to Mr. Maley, and neither one were even considered before this council. So
that we have come forward, at least I did, and I'm sure there's other people that have spoken on this too. So yeah, I agree with President Eisner. You are not bullying the council because you didn't get your way.
No, I'm saying it's a safety issue, sir. So.
I
if
never
you're gonna
disagreed
leave-
with
If we
that.
can leave tonight and you are okay with that, I'm okay with it too, and then we'll see what happens, because this is a safety issue.
I repeat, ordinance number 184, 2022, yes, failed. Meeting adjourned.
All right, we will go back to our work session. Why don't we go ahead and